Hey, we did it. We made it through the opening.
Yes, we're here.
I can't believe it actually happened. It worked. I was really
Hot
expecting this
diggity
whole thing to
dog.
just die right
Well,
right before we got there.
we're still working.
Yeah. It may yet still happen because when I went to load up the thing before we started, it was all the video, like the background video and the welcome videos and everything just didn't load. Like they were all just black. So,
I mean, everything's looking great from where I'm sitting.
nice.
So, I hope if anybody is watching this, it also looks great.
Yeah. I think I might have to turn my own volume down a little bit. Let me see. Just to make it match yours a little bit more. There we go. We'll try that. Cool. So yeah, we're here. We're live streaming. It's happening. People might watch this someday.
Yep.
It's on the books. It's in the records.
Hmm.
So,
I, I'm happy to be back.
yeah,
Happy to be back doing it.
me too. Me too.
You know, because we do it for the right reason,
Which
for no reason.
exactly. Exactly. We're the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Right.
There's-
Right.
or the Who's line of podcasts. Everything's made up and nothing matters.
I came to that conclusion about life recently.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's all made up and the points don't matter. So, just just roll with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So, should we introduce ourselves? I guess we got to get back into the swing of things. So,
yes, we should.
yeah, I don't even remember. I used to have like an opening. I used to say something
You
like,
did. You had like the whole deal.
yeah, I used to say, God, I don't even remember what I used to say. Hey, welcome to the latest episode of Structured Gibberish. I'm Brian. This is Pat. Something like
It's
that.
been so many days since the last
Yeah,
strong bet
yeah,
email.
that's right. So we almost 10 years ago we started Structured Gibberish. It is almost 10 years. We're like a couple months off from
We'll have a big to do for the 10
Oh
years.
yeah, absolutely. It'll be a party. We'll have like two people watching or something or three people. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
but yeah, so like we did the podcast. We started it in 2012. We did it pretty consistently for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. It
Um,
was very.
with multiple iterations. You know,
Hmm.
with like so there's the original, and the I remember the original had the all the episode names were just random autocorrect nonsense that you would text me.
Yep.
And ooh, I don't know if my noise canceller is going to be good enough for this, but this is the part of the night where my cat walks around the house mowing to tell me about all of the bugs he's found.
Hmm. I can hear it. I don't know if the audience
Oh,
can, but I can.
if you can hear it, they can probably hear it too. I was trying to record videos for work. Like I'm a programmer, and so I was trying to record these like walkthrough videos that explain like if you're onboarding to the project, this is what you need to know. And like halfway through that, he comes. My cat's name is Jazz. He comes over and he sits down like right outside my office here, and he's just sitting there mowing at me the whole time, and I'm just like, shut up, shut up! I'm trying to record a video. And
Quiet your face.
so I edited that all out. Unfortunately, they don't get to see it, but
But now we're sharing it with the world.
yeah. Now, I mean, I have the recordings for posterity, just in case. But I don't remember where I was going with the story. Oh yeah, the autocorrect nonsense. So then we rebooted to the new adventures of Structured Gibberish
Hmm.
Extreme, which was a really cool. Had a really cool opening theme song, and then
Yep.
all of the episode titles were something funny that was said during the episode. I think.
Yeah, I think we picked out something
Yeah,
that's whatever stuck out to us.
and then we got tired of that and moved into the 2000s, where we rebranded as the Structured Gibberish.
Yeah.
Like the Batman or the Fast and the Furious. No, no, wait, that was the first one. Fast and Fast. It was the opposite of that. Anyway, it was the Suicide Squad,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
all the episode titles were um, Friends style. What do you on like? The Price is Right. Well, yeah,
I'm trying to get
and
the
here we have the
LV. I'm trying to get. Oh, it's blurring. But my auto blur is trying to blur the can anyway. I'm trying to get sponsorship.
that we don't have sponsorship. That's why it's blurring it out. It's it's saying no, no, no. You're not getting paid for that. You're not gonna.
Exactly.
We can't show
Exactly.
that.
We're not giving away for free.
Um,
Don't
I don't remember
buy
where
the
we're going.
cow. Get the milk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then we also had two other podcasts that we did, which was Special Edition. which was where we
Mm.
reviewed movies that we had seen, which were usually nerd movies. Um, superhero,
Because we're
yeah,
nerds. That's what we
superhero
do.
movies. And then
Whereas now it's referred to as mainstream awesome.
yeah, that's true. Everything we reviewed on that podcast is considered mainstream now.
Yep.
Star Wars, Marvel, DC, everything. Um, and then the other one was we were reviewing episodes of like the Arrowverse for a little bit, and
Yeah,
that, that
that was fun.
that was a
It
fun
was
one to
fun.
do, but it
But
didn't last long.
no, I fell off all those shows. I haven't watched any of them in a very long time.
The Flash is ending soon, right? This is like the last
Not
season.
that I heard. I
I
didn't
thought
know.
this was the last season. I'm pretty sure it's the last season. I'm gonna Google it,
No,
but I'm
it's
pretty sure
it's
it is.
gonna go 8 seasons in a movie.
I don't what the Flash last
What, the Flash?
season. Is Flash season 8 the end? The Flash canceled? Oh, I guess all of the headlines on Google are question marks, so I guess no one knows.
Right.
Clearly,
I'm
if I read them, they're not going to give me any additional information. So
right. I don't know that they would end the Flash just because I still think it's like the tent pole right now. You know, um, like there's no other big CW. Like there are other shows on the CW, of course, but I don't think any of them are as big as the Flash. Batwoman is still pretty much a backup. I can't believe that they're still making the what was it's like the Tomorrow People or something.
the Tomorrow
The
War.
Tomorrow, the to-
Hmm.
starring Tom Arrow.
Uh-huh. Right. No, that you're
I had an
talking.
idea for a superhero named Tom Arrow, and he could see tomorrow.
There.
But then I realized that that was just early edition.
Oh yeah. I think there is a Tom Morrow in.
I
I'm
tried to
pretty
look it
sure.
up the way I spelled it anyway. Well, I think there's a Tom
Morrow.
Morrow,
Yes.
but is there a Tom Arrow?
No, I don't think there is. Not famously. No.
Right. So
No. But I think they're rebooting early edition too.
what?
Yeah, I
No,
think they are.
that's dumb.
They are.
Unless it's with the same guy.
I
I would
have no
watch.
idea.
I would totally watch it if it was with the same guy. Uh, Coach Taylor
Yeah,
from
right. That guy.
Friday Night Lights.
Hmm.
I would watch it if it was him again. Him and the guy who did the really bad Indian impression, no, actual Indian. I didn't have to correct myself. Uh, from Short Circuit. You remember that? That is where you don't remember
No,
this.
I do. I do. Yes.
Um, that is where not a poo.
Yes, I know.
But that is where my formative, sadly very racist thoughts of how an Indian person spoke came from.
Hmm.
Short Circuit. So I regret a lot of things.
The internet says The Flash is not canceled, but it might be the last season, but it is not canceled. That's what it's telling me right
It's
now.
not canceled, but it might be the last season. Is that like Seinfeld? Like they went out on top.
Yeah.
They're like, we might not come back because we're so cool.
Yeah. It's
I think that all of those people on that show, with the exception of the guy from Law and Order, should do that show for as long as they humanly possibly can, because none of them are great actors or actresses. Their careers are. Look at Stephen Amell. Like he was like, I got to get out of this Arrowverse thing. It's really pigeonholing me. And it's like, actually, it was probably the only job you were qualified for.
he
And
isn't he in a movie now?
is he? Because I don't know. If he is, he's just playing Oliver Queen because that's all he could do when he played fucking Casey Jones. I will never forgive him for that.
Oh, yeah, he did. I
Never,
completely forgot about
never
that.
forgive him for that. Because oh god, it was so bad. It was so bad. Um, yeah, let's not
You
think
know,
about that.
you know how when you and I talk sometimes it's kind of like it's like a mind node kind of a thing. There's a stream of consciousness. There's a lot of tenuous connections between ideas, and I think we were introducing ourselves, and
Oh yeah,
now we're
yeah.
talking about the Flash and stuff. So, and
We get off topic a lot.
my computer
That's
has
the
has just informed me that it is my bedtime. So, great stream,
yeah.
Pat.
I'm gonna get that soon. Yeah.
Good, good talking to you. Hopefully we can speak again soon. Um, uh, we did a live stream on Facebook, a Facebook Live event,
Yeah.
um, just about 2 years ago in May of 2020, and it was because we were like, boy, this this pandemic has been going on for so long. I feel like we need to just kind of get on the internet and talk and start a get a community going or whatever. And we need to do something because we've been cooped up in our houses for like 2 months. We got to do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do something.
So that was 2 years ago, and
And then remember, we were gonna be. It's like this is gonna be our way.
mhm,
This is how we're gonna get through it.
mhm, mhm,
And we did it one time.
yep. But
That's all it took. We got through it.
yeah, so maybe we're getting to the end of the pandemic now. I mean, I'm not a Nostradamus, but maybe we're getting to the end. Who knows? And if we say that this streaming is our way of getting through it, and then it just ends, then we won. We did it.
Right.
Could you imagine if
We
we
did
had
it.
if we had to do this for 2 whole years to get to the end of this pandemic?
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, terrible, terrible. So anyway,
It's not easy to tell, but I had like almost no gray hair in my beard when the pandemic started, and now it's all salt and pepper. Salt and pepper.
I hope my mute button
So
works because I got
it did. It did. Good
I've
job.
I've had a cough for like almost a month now, and this week it's finally started getting better. So
Good.
right as the
Good.
weather is warming up. So
Right. Well, that's good.
if my
I couldn't help but notice you when you patted your chest there. Did you remember to wear the thing that I didn't remember to wear?
I I'm gonna let you all in on a behind the scenes secret. Um, this is the shirt that I, without even looking, grabbed and threw on last night and slept in it, and I've just been wearing it all day because when I woke up, I was like, "Oh, I'm wearing the shirt. I guess I'll just wear it all day." So I've been wearing this shirt for at this point probably like 26 hours, and it's
Nice.
gonna go straight
Nice.
straight into the you know well, it's gonna go straight into the laundry and then probably sit in the basket for like a week, and then I'll wash it.
Just have it ready for next week. Well, next week I'll wear
Yeah,
mine. We'll make sure we alternate.
cool, cool. I'll wear
Uh,
something different. What are you wearing? Just like a plain shirt?
just a plain shirt. Plain shirt.
You know, for those of you who don't know, and I do see people actually here and watching the show, and that's really exciting. I didn't think anybody was going to watch this, so thank you for whoever you are for joining in and watching live. Um, you don't have to stay for the whole thing, although we are going to do some exciting things that have to do with toys and collectibles and stuff. Hopefully, no, but my son Edwin, Pat, you designed merch for them because they aspire to be YouTubers like their parents.
Of
And my
course.
my
Of
wife
course.
actually just started a YouTube channel for her video game that she plays. She's doing tips. Um, it's Emily Explains Everything. Her name is not really Emily, but that's her screen name. So you could go YouTube, Google that, get some tips on
Nice.
Clash of Beasts. Anyway, you designed merch shirts for my kids, and they wear them all the time to school, and everybody loves their merch, and they give other kids like stickers of their logo and stuff for their
That's
birthdays
awesome.
and everything. So I'm wearing this shirt, and Edwin looks at it and he's like, "Uncle Pat designed that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Uncle Pat is probably the best person I know at making T-shirts," and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean that's like his job." So
That's high
yeah,
praise. That is high praise.
hmm yep. And this is a really good shirt. It's like, what is this, like an iron-on or like not an iron-on, but like a
It is
like
it
a
is the professional version of an iron-on. It's called a just a regular transfer.
yeah, like a heat transfer.
hmm
Yeah.
So they will be available to the public should the public want them. If not, I am just gonna ultimately make a lot of these for Brian and I, and we'll have them
This is
in every color.
this is what it looks like. It's just the logo and it's got our little face people on it here. I'm giving everybody the
Yep,
sorry.
right there. Yeah,
Sorry about that, everyone. Um,
in your faces. These are our faces.
it's it's funny because I adopted the logo of my face that you drew for me. The one that's
Mhm.
that's all over all of our stuff. I adopted that as my avatar everywhere, including in all of my work chats and everything. So like my all the clients that I've had and everybody at work, like whenever I don't go on video, that's what they see, in whatever I'm in. And so like a lot of people just recognize me by that little cartoon face of myself.
There you go. And again, this is unless you follow Brian on Twitter, you might not know. Brian has versions of his avatar to go with virtually every holiday.
Yep.
I'm still working on like Talk Like a Pirate Day, Brian, and things like that. But
I haven't been switching them. I didn't switch them at all throughout the pandemic, and I should probably get back
hmm
into that. Excuse me. I should probably get back
I
into that
just
habit.
I recently found one of the pictures that I sent you of all of them, and I was like, oh, look at all of them. I think Cupid Brian, that's a good one.
Hmm. Cupid Brian is a great one. I have like
Funny Brian.
I have Pilgrim Brian, and then someone who's a Native American told me that's kind of offensive to them, and I was like, "How about okay? I guess it's Turkey Brian now." And so Pat made a
Right,
Turkey Brian.
Turkey Brian.
We got St. Patrick's Brian, um, Christmas Brian. That's like Santa Brian. I've got one is
There's Elf and Santa.
I don't have the elf one.
I have an elf one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should
You
send that
should
to
send.
you.
Yeah, why don't I have that? I need that in the
I don't
collection.
know. It's your face.
I have the Halloween one is me dressed as Batman, but like wearing the that kind of like thin plastic mask that would make you look like you're like Adam West Batman.
And it literally says Batman like on his
Yeah,
forehead.
it's classic and
The Ben Cooper style.
yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. And I think I'm wearing what's probably like a Batman t-shirt as the yeah,
Essentially, yeah. It's the whole Ben Cooper outfit.
yeah.
If you look, I even put like crinkles in your shirt so it looks like it's made of vinyl. But you really got to look at that stuff.
Yeah, those things were weird. I never had I never had that brand as a kid. I can't remember the brand that my parents used to get, but it was more like pajamas. And
Yeah,
then the thin plastic mask, you know?
yeah. No, these I only had one or two of the official Ben Cooper ones. But my favorite one was the Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
It was brown suit Wolverine. And the mask was pretty good. But again, this is, we're talking like first grade, like 1991 or so,
Mhm.
91, 92, somewhere in there. And so not a lot of people had the Wolverine. Like, the general populace didn't know who Wolverine was. Comic book guy people did, but not. And so every door I went up to, this was also a snowy October. I remember hearing the little tiny pelting of hard rain snow hitting my mask as I'm fully coated up, and so the only thing they can see is this Wolverine mask. And of course I'm wearing the vinyl jumpsuit that has a picture of Wolverine on it, and it says Wolverine across the stomach, and I got these little
Comic book accurate.
tiny uh like it looks like the back end of plastic silverware chromed out,
Ah.
and much flimsier
Hmm.
as these on white cardboard
Hmm.
that wrapped around your hand.
So like less
um
like you're gonna cut a pulled pork and more like you're gonna like serve mashed potatoes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, I looked like I had giant sporks for
Mhm.
hands. um
So
and
there's a
so
superhero that someone's probably parodied at some point, but
I I'm sure. But yeah, every door I went up to, like, oh, you're Batman. Oh, it's the Batman. And I'm like, I'm Wolverine. I'm Wolverine. God damn it.
that that every single time that woman opened the door, she'd be like, "Oh, it's Batman." I'm like, I'm a dinosaur." "Oh, it's Batman."
Oh, it's the Batman. Everybody run and hide. It's the
"Oh no,
Batman.
he's gonna get you." It's the Bat.
Biff pow.
Anywho,
She's probably dead now. She was very old.
wow, that got dark.
Yeah.
That got dark night.
Take that. I was Wolverine.
Take that, old woman who doesn't read comic books.
Try to relate to me as a child. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, this is not a PG stream, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I should clean it up a little then.
I checked the box, not intended for children, so that
Good.
so that
I
you know.
try to keep it a little cleaner anyway these
Hmm.
days. You know.
Yeah, you never know who might be watching.
Exactly. We want to leave it open. Let let the people watch.
Right,
But
right. It's up to you to bleep us if you don't
exactly,
want to hear. You gotta.
exactly,
It's self-service bleeping.
exactly.
I should get a bleep
But
button on here just for
ooh,
comedic effect.
that'd be fun. We should both have access to it somehow. I don't know how that would work, but
Uh,
I would also want the ability to bleep you for no reason.
hey, bleep you. We had topics, Pat. We were going to talk about
We're
stuff
gonna get there.
in
We're gonna get
specific, and
there.
I don't remember. Oh, we were now okay. See, we got off track. We got off topic again. We were talking about my avatars that you drew, and
Yes,
then we got into
yes.
Halloween because the weather around here in the Midwest. And you'll note I've gone off topic again because we're both in the Midwest here. Um, the weather here is such that it is winter from roughly the middle of October until the middle of November, and then the weather is generally nice for Christmas, and then it gets bad in about February to March.
Yeah.
So that's we have you can find the official list. People have made the official list of Midwest weathers. You know, Fool's Spring and False Fall and Hell's Kitchen and all that, and
Second
yeah,
fall.
Second Fall and the what like the Winter of Despair. You
Right.
know, all those
Well,
things.
because it inevitably, like this weekend, okay, this weekend, what is today? This is the 4th of
Hmm.
March.
Hmm.
If you're watching this
March
at a different
4th,
time.
Pat. March 4th.
March 4th.
Tally ho.
So this weekend is going to be like 70 degrees, but there's still snow coming.
Yes. That
There's snow in the forecast, but it will be 70 degrees this weekend.
yeah. You have
So,
to in the morning when our kids get ready for school. It's like, what should we wear? And it's like, well, wear your snow boots, pack your shoes, wear a winter coat over a hoodie because it's going to be spring on your way home, but it's winter right now.
right.
You know, that's how we got to do it.
My snow shovel lives by the front door, or the side door. That's where we go out of. But it lives by the whole winter long. I'm not going to put that sucker
No.
away until it is 90 degrees out for a month.
My favorite thing is like it's because it'll snow here and then it'll get warm. If I can get out and shovel the driveway like right when it's done snowing before the sun comes up, then by midday all the snow on the rest like the remaining snow on the driveway will just be gone,
Hmm.
you know.
Right.
So you got to get out there. You develop these patterns, you know. So
Yeah, if you just get a good clear like like sh, you know, sh,
yep, right.
then it'll all whoosh. That's how it goes.
Yippers. Um, yeah. So God, we got off the topic again.
Hmm.
Um, avatars, because we do. How did we get? How did we even get onto avatars now?
Because okay, so I made a T-shirt and I made logos for your kids who they had T-shirts made, and I also made your avatars, and your avatars were Halloween costumes. Halloween is in the winter,
Uh-huh.
and there we are.
Ah,
So we started talking
and
about the weather.
winter is experienced by Kevin Bacon.
Exactly, and so we're all 6 degrees.
Yes. 6 degrees, just like the temperature right now, before it becomes 70 degrees tomorrow. This whole week
Exactly.
was so stupid. It was like 50 degrees, and then 20 degrees, and then 40, and then 70, and then it's going to snow.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not.
So
I'm not
my
exaggerating.
whole
That's
family
literally the
is
temperatures here.
right. My whole family's allergies have been going insane.
Hmm.
Oh, my knee, because I'm at that
Uh-huh.
age.
Right.
I have I fell on the ice in the city of Chicago about probably about 10 years ago, and now I'm one of those guys who's like, oh, the rain's a coming.
You know, let me give you some sound medical advice, Pat. In 2018, I slipped on the ice and I landed on my left knee, no, my right knee, and I really hurt it. And I just because I'm not one of those people that likes to go to the doctor, I just walked around in pain on my knee for years until sometime in 2020 when I once again slipped on the ice and landed on the same knee and it fixed it. And
Hey, there
I've
you
been
go.
walking around pain free for like 2 years now. And I'm ecstatic, although it still does act up when the air pressure is low outside.
Hmm. Mine is like it's good most of the time. Let's keep this segment short.
No, I don't think we should. I
Um,
think this is the show now.
but
This is the topic. We're old and we're talking about the weather and our injuries.
But
Look at my gray hair. I didn't have this
right?
until I had
Yeah. Oh,
kids.
oh yeah.
You could see it.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Right there. This used to
I
be like,
tell Marion all the time. I was like, "This is all you. This is all. It's coming in over here
at least I
and
still
over
have my
here.
hairline for the most part.
Used to be one or two pieces here, and I got my hairline, but it's getting thinner. It's getting thinner. It's better when it's short. Long makes it worse. And plus, I usually wear a hat.
Hmm.
I'm not wearing a hat today. Um, that was always my plan. I planned this out for. I've been wearing hats since we were young. No one will ever notice when I really start to lose it. Um, but anyway, my knee. So when I fell on the ice, it 1000% dislocated. Like I don't have doctor's proof of this, but like I know what I felt.
Hmm.
And when I hobbled back up, which is funny side story. So I fall on the ice in Chicago. I was leaving my then girlfriend's apartment, and I slipped on the ice, just go down like a ton of bricks, and then watch 30 people walk over me. It just didn't even break their stride. And I was like, Jesus, this is New York. This is Chicago. I thought we were friendlier here in the Midwest, but they're just like, nope, fuck you, buddy.
They're,
I'm late.
they're just like, oh, good. Now I don't have to walk on the ice. I can just walk on this guy. I
Right.
won't
Just
slip and fall.
and then I just remember the skinniest little guy comes up to me. He's like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "I don't think so, but
No,
I appreciate
no,
it."
no one can help me. I'm beyond help.
Uh, and I just kind of like yanked myself over to a wrought iron fence and pulled myself up and hobbled back to the apartment because I was supposed to be getting the car. We were supposed to be leaving, but I was like, the car is like 6 blocks away. There's no way I'm going to make it to the car. So I hobbled back in, and I walked with a cane for like 2 days. But again, no doctors because you can't afford that if you're uninsured in America.
Mhm.
And so I uh, I walked on it for like a week or two, and then I remember like twisting it and feeling like a significant like plunk, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh, okay," and, and it was kind of better. But now, like if I'm doing anything, like if I got to go into the crawl space, anything on the knee, I can hear it. I hear my knees a lot, and it sounds like wet sand being pressed between two metal hammers. you
Yeah,
know um
yeah, I can definitely imagine that. That's a really good
so
analogy
yeah.
there, Pat.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And so also another weird thing that happens is sometimes and this I probably shouldn't see a doctor about, on occasions, like when you put your hands on your knees, like I feel like parts aren't there. Like I'm like, hey, that's a divot that's not normally there. Intriguing.
Hmm.
And then it's like right now they feel fine. So but I digress into old age, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. But I mean, as you could tell from like the things behind me, and probably the things behind you if they weren't all blurry, we're doing our best not to slide into old age.
Exactly. Our bodies can't help it, but our minds are young.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
So we got some stuff, and this is a thing that me
we
and Pat
do.
like to do. We get stuff in the mail. We
Hmm.
get a toy or a action figure or some sort of collectible thing, and we like to open it up and share the joy with people. So here's what I think we're gonna do for the next portion of the show. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't remember what you said you had to show.
Okay. Fair.
And then we're gonna take a short break after that, so I can go and fill up my water cup because it's
I didn't know we could take breaks. This is amazing.
we can.
I
I
love
got
this
I got a screen
technology.
for that. I got a be right back
That's
screen
great.
because I
Nice.
anticipated that I would drink the entire cup before this was over.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. At some point, can we please uh claymate some characters of ourselves and do like after these messages we'll be right back, but then there'll be no messages.
I'm Yes, well, obviously, unless someone's going to do some messages too. But yeah, okay, I'm going to put you in charge of that initiative. Um,
Great, great.
unless anyone listening is into that kind of thing, hit us up. Also for the folks listening, there is a live chat, and I am watching the chat. I don't know if you're watching the chat, but
There's the chat.
like if you go to the actual video on YouTube,
Oh,
there's a live
I
chat.
see it. I see it. Live
If
chat.
you have any questions or topics you want us to talk about, feel free to throw them
Get into now. I want to ultimately call this segment "What's in the Box."
in. Okay, are we gonna have to make
Um,
stingers now too?
yeah, we
Do you know
absolutely do.
it
'Cause
took us like 6 months to get all of this together, to get all the videos and everything, and
I mean, they're really good though.
yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I think there was just
Brian did. Brian did all the cool stuff. I made the logos. Brian made them look cool.
I'm watching the dashboard on YouTube,
Yeah.
just to make sure the stream is going good, and it says like excellent connection, and then every
Oh,
so
good.
often it just goes like no connection, excellent connection. And I'm like, is the stream
That
okay?
sounds like modern dating, dating
Mhm,
apps.
mhm.
So, all right, we're gonna get into what's inside the box.
Yeah.
Now, again, I wanna preface this real quick. Preface it
Hmm.
even. Um,
Face it.
I ultimately, for me, I wanna end up doing full unboxings. What I have for you guys today are things that I got this week and I opened because I didn't think. That stop
Did you
doing
see that?
that.
Did you see how much dust is on there?
Do
Oh
that
my god!
off camera. Good
Oh my
lord.
god! No, that's like I never would have thought to dust in between the two pieces of the microphone arm.
It's got to get
But
one of
like,
those Swiffery
I know
guys.
this is gross.
Yeah,
Holy moly!
yeah, it's gross.
I've had this microphone arm since we started podcasting.
I know that dust is like 12 years
It
old.
is. Look, you could taste it. You could taste the
Mm-hmm.
years.
Tastes 12 years ago.
Hmm.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna get a box.
Okay,
So
go for it.
again, this box has previously been
I'm
opened.
looking forward to your filter trying to deal with this.
Yes, right, right.
Hmm.
This is gonna be great. Perhaps I'll turn the filter off for this purpose,
Yeah.
so as not to
At the moment,
ruin
you can
everything.
kind of see it. It's working.
I see. I do see that.
Hmm.
I know. Look at that.
It's actually not a bad background. You got the lights there.
No, it's this is my wife Amanda's office.
Hmm.
So she was kind enough because my office is in between being an office and being a storage facility. So we're getting it back in shape. But anyhow, so this is something the second I found out about, I had to own this. I had to.
Hmm.
And it is the X-Men the animated series Wolverine 12-inch action figure by Mondo. Now, take a look at that packaging right there.
It's pretty sweet.
You see what that is?
Hmm.
That is the storyboard
Yeah, from the opening.
from the opening. Now, again, I want to show you the whole thing, but I have opened this figure already, so I can feel that just doing that little turn probably already knocked him out of position. Not bad though. So before we get to the figure, there's the official hand numbered. You can't see the
Doom.
number. And this
Hmm.
right
The
here,
meme.
the meme, the one, the only,
Hmm.
and here he is,
Yep.
all
Almost in bed there.
almost in
Hmm.
bed. But as you can see, he does have
Yeah.
the little picture frame, and we're gonna take him out of the box so you can see um, everything. So it is a very nice.
Did you say
Um,
this was Mondo? Is this Mondo doing this?
this was Mondo, so I got um, I got this for regular retail price because I ordered it. This is the San Diego Comic Con exclusive meme Wolverine version. There was, I believe, I actually don't know that they put out a regular old edition. But they did put out a brown suit version, which I never saw. I kind of think I might have gone for that one. Um, because that one was specifically the Pride of the X-Men version. So we can see him a little bit better now. I'm just
There
gonna
it goes.
take him out
That's
so he doesn't.
that's bigger than I imagined from the photos. Like
Right,
I guess I didn't
right.
realize
I
it
mean,
was 12 inch.
it's a 12 incher. He's a big guy.
So that's almost
He's a big guy.
that's like twice as big as a
And
Marvel Legend.
I just pretty much so. I do love this is a real pillow, like
Hmm.
it's a actual soft little pillow for him. Um, and so the
Hovering. It's a
whole
hovering pillow.
little it is it's very
Ghost
bizarre
pillow.
because you can't really get this plastic part off. That's kind of it's glued on. Um, I was hoping to use this kind of as a display for him, but without being exceedingly careful with it, I don't think that's going to work out. But that's just the beginning. So we have our Wolverine. First of all, this was the face that was it made him exclusive. It's sad.
Hmm.
He's look at him. He's so
He
sad.
misses Jean.
He does, and look, he's got his little picture of Scott and Jean.
Hmm.
And what's great is because it's the meme, you absolutely can take that out,
Hmm.
and it's in a little piece of plastic that you can print out whatever pictures you like and put in there and slide them back in, and Wolverine can be sad and missing them, just like in the meme.
He can be sad about whatever you want.
Exactly, exactly. So, but also the really cool thing is that he can be, excited about whatever he wants to. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this sad.
I think you might have hit mute on your mic while you were doing that. You might have bumped it.
I totally
You
did.
totally did.
Thanks, thanks,
I
buddy.
assume you said something obscene while you were doing that, and that's why you muted.
Yeah. I was. Thank God. Thank God I was muted.
Uh,
Uh, we can never play that back.
mhm.
Wolverine comes with a total of one, two, three, four, five heads in this edition.
Mm.
We
A
have
regular old
Sad
Hydra.
Wolverine, which you've seen for absolutely. Um, this one, I see this a lot with high end toys. I don't know why it came with this head because this head is just
He's
not as sad.
Yeah, it's
A little,
normal. Like the
just kind of, Wolverine thinking.
Mhm.
He's like, "Did I eat
Mm.
lunch?" if
Yep.
I hold this a little closer, then it looks like I am Wolverine.
That's Batman.
It's Batman, you son of a bitch. Um, this is the one I usually keep on him. This is the uh,
Yeah.
just the kind of the classic grumpy Wolverine. But these two are really top notch. Um, Animated Logan,
Yeah, that looks good.
really
They
good.
do a good job at Mondo
Uh,
of capturing the animated look.
they do, they really do. And so I'll just pop that on real quick so you can see.
You muted yourself again. You got to put
I'm gonna move the mute
Yeah, I was
button.
gonna say you got to put that mute button somewhere else.
So um, the heads don't. There's some good, bad, and ugly about this figure, and we'll get to all the points on there. But so there's Logan looking pretty cool. I kind of wish he had like a bomber jacket to put on,
Hmm.
but I can't imagine how that would get over those shoulder things. But
I mean, he does it technically. It's canon that he
I mean,
does somehow.
he does it. He does it. I'm just saying I
Like
don't.
he should look like an '80s blazer when he wears
Yeah.
that. But
Now this is my favorite accessory, but it's one that I probably will never display. Um, but I love that I have it, and of course it is
morph.
Morph. This one's for you, Morph. Literally, this head is for you, Morph.
Mhm.
Um, which is just great. I love Morph. I'm so excited to have some version of him in plastic here. I really hope Hasbro wisens up and gives us a full Morph figure. now that they're doing the animated figures. Now the rest of his accessories come down to mostly hands, but there are two pretty cool pieces I'm going to show you real quick. Of course, there are uh, clawed hands,
Yes,
and
as
then
you do.
he's got the holding a picture frame hand and the uh,
Whoa there.
hello,
Whoa there. Whoa
hello
there,
there.
buddy. Holy.
Um, he's got another open hand, another like trigger finger hand, and and of course, this is great. I love this one. This one goes with this one. Eating a turkey leg
Hmm.
from apparently the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, wasn't that the? It's been so long since I watched that, but like, doesn't like Rogue try to make dinner?
I really don't remember very well, but I'm sure it was something like that.
Yeah. I all I know is the clip where he like walks up, pops the claws, slices it off, and like grabs it in like a single motion.
Right. And then this is actually how he's been displayed most of the time lately, um, with the very cool but very hard to. I just dropped one of the fists under the desk. It's not coming back right now. Just gonna make this a little less epic, but
Yeah, I know. I can see what you're doing there.
I make electricity for no reason.
Hmm.
So,
That's
uh,
that's that's what you get when the people who are tasked with making a cool opening scene are told you're not allowed to show him using his real powers, which is stabbing things. You can't show
I
him
mean that's
stabbing
fair.
people,
That's fair.
and so they're like, okay,
And they
well,
were like, we used to play that video game. Doesn't shit come out of his claws when he waves
yeah,
it around?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
that's
That's
right.
how it goes. So again, we got good, bad, bad, and ugly here. So the good, obviously, from this standpoint, this is a fan fucking tastic figure. Again, pardon my language. Sorry, folks.
Too late now.
Um, it was a little pricier than I feel like it should have been, to be honest. When we get into the fine details, when I'm spending $200 on an action figure, which is very rare, I don't want to see this kind of mess. I don't know if this is going to come through on the camera or
Oh, that's
not,
a man butt.
but that is a man butt. But you see how one side of those tiger stripes are nice and neat, the other's pretty sloppy.
Hmm.
Pretty sloppy. There's a lot of that going on in here. Now, some of it is because we have these really nice, cool animated lines. Again, I don't know how much of this is coming through. I feel like this is a little fadey. That's okay. You can see it there.
Yeah, that looks pretty
But he does have the cell shading. He does have um, the line work, which I really love. I also love that on the NECA animated turtles when they do that. It really sells the animated
good. Sells the
uh,
shading.
design.
Hmm.
Sells the shading. It does. He came with a stand, but that stand is the most useless thing I have ever seen. It's one of those larger scale figures type stands where it's like got the little metal clip on it that like you can pull it out and it's supposed to open
Hmm.
more, but it never opens enough to actually hold this figure in any way that's
Hmm.
worth doing.
So it's like they gave you like a
Um,
generic figure clip, and it doesn't fit the
Right.
figure
It
again.
doesn't fit his waist. Like when you put it on there, it actually like separates the figure. It tries to pull the joint apart
Oh,
and it started to cause paint rub on his belt. And I was like, well, I'm never going to use that again.
I wonder if you can
So
get one of those Tamashi Nations figure stands that I
probably,
mean they're
I mean,
for
I'm sure there are other figures. So you can get it like a Barbie doll stand
yeah.
and it'll work better than the one that they gave you. It was just made far too tight for this figure. So again, I don't know if they just had like one style and this is maybe a bit thicker of a fella than they're used to
Hmm.
doing. But um, I mean, here's the bottom line. All in all, I love this figure. I love having it. I think it's a great figure. Do I wish it was there was a little bit more attention to detail? Like you can even see again, I'm sure it won't be picked up on the camera. There are like flecks of yellow paint on his mask. And it's just like if you're doing a high-end collectible, especially Mondo is like known for this like being a very high-end toy company. You don't want to see these kinds of little imperfections that are distracting from the full figure.
Mhm.
Um, but again, things are what they are. And at the end of the day, this is a really nice figure. I was on the fence after I ordered. After, of course, I ordered this, and I knew that it wasn't going to come in until January, and then of course, pandemic stuff made it not come in until I think mid-February. Um, and in between there, Hasbro was like, "Oh, we're also making animated figures, and they're only $25, sucker."
Yeah, which is still a lot
It
for
is.
for
It's. I
what
mean,
what
I
they are, but
for sure. But I definitely was like, "Oh, if I'm gonna have the little ones, do I need the big one?" And and I just decided that this by itself is a showpiece for me. This is something that I can put on a shelf. I can put on my X-Men shelf, and it's not detracting from the smaller figures in any way. You know,
I
I will not collect more of these. This is the only one of the Mondo series I'll buy.
oh, are they doing
Um,
how what have they
they're
announced?
definitely doing Magneto. They announced
Hmm.
Magneto. Um, and I haven't heard anything else. So,
I I remember telling you specifically that I was not buying this thing and
mhm,
that I was not going to buy into those animated series Marvel Legends because I finally completed the collection of 90s like Jim Lee era
mhm.
X-Men in a normal Marvel Legends, and so I was not going to do the animated ones. And I stuck to that for, I don't know, like 3 months before I was looking at my shelf and being like, this is here because of the animated series and not because of the comics. So I should probably just get into that, replace all these with the comic ones. So
Yeah,
that collection is going to go, and I'm going to get the animated ones. The fact that they have a Mr. Sinister coming makes me hopeful that they're going to do like a lot of the villains. Like I would really like a Magneto.
yeah. Magneto, Apocalypse. So, I mean, honestly, they could do all of them. I will buy. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm buying them. I've gone back and forth a lot. I've canceled my Jubilee like 3 times because it doesn't look that different than the other Jubilee that just came out. It's just got a little bit of the cell shading. Like the Wolverine is significant because I hate the mask on the standard issue Wolverine figure. I think it looks real stupid for whatever reason. Instead of having I don't even know what to call these, the wingtip thingies, out like this, like they have it pulled straight back, and he looks more like Batman than he does Wolverine. Um, so I've always not been a fan of that. That was the Love Triangle pack Wolverine, but also the same mask came out with, I think, the last two or three Jim Lee era Wolverine figures. Um, so anyway, when the animated Wolverine came out, I was like, I have to have it. That's a need. But again, like Sinister and Jubilee are the same exact figures that we just got, just with slight repaints. Um, Storm, which was just announced, though, looks amazing.
Yeah.
I really love that Storm.
Are you,
And so that, like, when I got Storm, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and add Jubilee back in the cart. And
are you able to hear me?
yeah,
That's good. While you were talking, my audio equipment died, and
oh,
I tried to like make it look like I was not panicking
right.
for a
You
moment,
were
but
no, yeah, you
so
were totally just active listening. I liked
yep,
that. Good job.
got it all up and running again, and then just completely blew my cover by telling you all about it.
Right. Well, that's the way to do it. Wait to the end,
Yeah.
then look cover.
hmm Exactly.
So
Wait till the crisis has already resolved itself. So,
exactly. Now, did you want me to go into my next show off?
um,
Because it's not boxing, or do you want to take a break now,
yeah,
or
why don't we take a
how are
quick
you
break?
feeling?
We've been going about an hour. If you,
All right.
we've been live for about an hour, so I think, yeah, we'll take a quick, like, just 2 minute break, and then we'll be back. And yeah, there we go. That's the button.
What?
We're back. I don't know why that transition is screwing up at the end there. It was doing great all up until now. But anyway, we're back. Thanks for hanging out with us. I got a new water in my cool whatever kind of cup this is. So,
By the time I'm done, you are going to have a structured gibberish cup.
oh, cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna need it to be fairly large. I drink a lot of water. That's water is my primary thing that I drink these days.
Source of liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a plus.
I stopped drinking pop for the most part. I don't drink coffee. Um, I would drink like iced tea, but we usually don't have it around in the house.
Hmm.
Recently found out I'm lactose intolerant, so I had to stop drinking milk. So it's just water. I just drink water. Water and caffeine pills.
I mean, water is good. Water is very good. Water is definitely my main go-to. Um, I find if we can dive into being old again for just a moment,
Yeah, go for it.
I
That's what the
I
viewers
don't
love.
sleep. I don't sleep the right way anymore. It just doesn't happen. So I did decide I needed some kind of caffeine. So when I need
You know,
caffeine, I get
the
the iced tea.
that doesn't help you sleep though.
No, but it helps keep me awake during the day
Mhm.
when I had not slept in the night.
Yeah, iced tea is good. Iced tea has got a lot of caffeine in it.
Yeah,
It's
it
it's
does.
it's on par with like Mountain Dew. I
So,
think I
well, I mean, it depends on where you get it, because like I get mine from Dunkin',
mm,
because
Dunkin's got good iced tea.
they do have good iced tea, but it all depends on who's making it, and like, because I order it the same way every time. I say, I'll get a sweet tea.
Mhm,
I like a sweet tea, a raspberry sweet tea. And then the amount of pumps and types of things that they put into it is always different.
mhm.
Like there's a little sticker on it that's like, oh, you got 4 pumps of raspberry and 5 pumps of liquid sugar. I was like, that's not good.
That's
Um,
you got a little iced tea in your sugar water.
right,
Yeah.
right. And then sometimes it's just like I did order a sweet iced tea, but this just says 1 pump of raspberry, and I definitely can tell it's just 1 pump of raspberry.
Mhm.
That is all that's in this tea. And that it's a give and take, because I don't hate that, but I definitely don't like it. So it lasts longer. I just sip it and it's
Oh,
like,
I see.
ah, ah, you know. Um, but then the other time, if they put a ton of sugar in there, I generally drink it much faster, because it's like, this is really good. This is so good. Drink it all right now.
See,
And then I crash.
I get my iced tea black. I don't put anything in it. It's black tea. That's why you can say that. That's the type of tea that
It's
is. But
true. Yes.
it's yeah, I don't get anything in it. Just straight up iced tea. Not sweet, no raspberry. Although I do like their raspberry. Um, I've only had it in the times when they've screwed up and put it in there, and then I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. I'll drink it. Um, but yeah, I just get it. It's basically a slightly bitter caffeine water.
Right. Right.
So
I have always I don't have any, again, I have no documentation about this, but I believe I am some sort of a super taster.
oh,
Because anything bitter, even in the slightest, like I can't stand it. So I need some sweet. I need something to set it off. Um, my daughter loves when I try coffee, because people be like, "Oh, it doesn't taste like coffee at all. Just try it. Just try a sip." And it just like I automatically like go like,
I,
it's a terrible experience for me
as
drinking
as
coffee.
an avid iced tea drinker, or at least I used to be. Like whenever I would go to any restaurant, I would always iced tea. I would just get iced tea. Like
I know I was there.
yeah. And every so often you go to a place where they use the same whatever the brewing thing. I don't know what they call it. The brewer, the thing.
The
Yeah,
brouhaha, yeah.
to make the coffee, and then they'll just like rinse it out and make tea in it, and then you get the tea, and the tea tastes like coffee. I don't know why restaurants haven't figured out that you can't do that because the tea literally just tastes like coffee, like watered down coffee.
Hmm.
But some places do that, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's bitter and disgusting,
And then
and then it just ruins the whole thing. I'm just like, yep, okay,
yeah,
not gonna touch
and
that again.
it's awkward to be just like, hey, you screwed up the iced tea recipe.
Right.
I'm gonna need like a Coke or something because
This drink is
mhm,
terrible. Please take it away.
yeah,
Take it
it's
away
like
from me.
this should be the easiest thing to make, and
Right.
you've messed it up. Unfortunately, I don't.
I have no faith in you. I am no longer ordering the blowfish.
Right, yeah, and I don't like to. I don't. I I'm one of those timid people that doesn't ever like to point out a problem at a restaurant. I'm just like, oh yeah, you gave me the wrong food. That's fine. I'll just choke it down so that I don't offend
I'll
anybody.
just I'll just eat around the parts that I don't want.
Hmm. Yeah,
I feel you.
but I
I feel
cannot.
that's you gotta have somebody. You know,
Hmm.
I always enjoy traveling in a pack with somebody who's gonna be like, "Oh no," like not a scene maker, not a Karen,
Right.
but somebody who's gonna be like, "Excuse me, this is
Yeah.
wrong,
My
blatantly wrong."
Listen, my introverted friend here got the wrong order, okay, and we need to do something about this.
Right.
So,
Just bring him something else. It's fine.
mhm. It's like, no, no, it's fine. I'll go without food for 24 hours. It's fine.
Since we're on the topic here, can I do a slide aside?
Oh, sure,
This is
yeah,
gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be more fun for Brian than it is the listeners, but
that's
whatever.
fine. I'll stop the stream. Hang on.
Um, the other day was my daughter's ninth birthday,
What?
and
9?
yeah, nine,
Uh,
9 years old. Um, and so I took her out on her birthday, and I just said, what do you want to do, dude? Whatever you want to do. Her mom had to work, so it was just her and I for a couple hours, and so I was like, all right, so whatever you want to do. And she goes, I would like to go get a drink from Dunkin'." I said, "Okay." And she says, "But
Oh no.
you have to talk in a British accent." Because I told the story
Hmm.
about
Yes.
uh, when we were younger.
Hmm.
And so she she made me do the whole and if I had to do the whole like cheesy gordita crunch type, like I couldn't just put on like a realistic British accent. I had to talk like this because that was how I told the story. And so there I am, just in the Dunkin' drive-through with this poor elderly Indian woman taking my order and feeling really bad because she takes our order all the time. She knows who we are. And I'm just like, "Hello, I'd like a strawberry refresher, please." But it was still fun.
Hmm.
It was still fun. It was much more mortifying as a 38-year-old person than it was as an 18-year-old person. 20 years really adds the mortification on.
Hmm.
But it was not. It was fun. It was an entertaining car ride, and she thought it was just the best thing ever. So
Well, good. That's
that's
that. I like those kind of inexpensive birthday presents.
exactly. So I mean, we also spent like $30 at Five Below, and all sorts of fun
Wow.
things. But you know how that
Hmm.
goes. So anyway, I believe you have something you'd like to share with the class.
I do. I've been waiting for this thing for quite some time because the pictures of it looked amazing. Now, I'm going to preface this. Actually, I'm going to start opening it off to the side because it is a I haven't even opened the shipping box yet. Okay. And I've been
See, this is the kind of unboxing that we
I
should be doing, not this half-ass shit I'm doing over
I was told that this was the thing. So if there's a different thing in the box when I open it,
here. You still have to review it.
yeah, I'm still going to
That's
review whatever it is. But so this is only going to be is this the thing? It's not the thing. This is the wrong box.
oh
We're
dear.
gonna no, we're gonna open it anyway. Oh wait, is this the wrong
Okay.
box? No, this might be the right one. We're gonna find out because now it's in an inner shipping box.
Oh, ho 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 ho.
I'm gonna move them.
If this turns out to just be like toiletries or something.
Yeah, it's Hasbro toiletries.
Yes. Actually, a- again, while you're opening, I'm gonna talk for
I think
because that's what I do is I
I
talk.
think this is the right thing. It's the
Uh,
right shape box.
I love weirdo toy toiletries. Things that
Toy
go into
lit,
toy
litri-
latrines.
mhm.
Yep. I have my well, not mine. I bought it, but I had one when I was a kid. My Masters of the Universe toothbrush holder. That is a prized possession.
Mhm.
So things like that I think are amazing. So Hasbro should get into that shit.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
So let me explain the thing that I'm going to open here because I imagine that anybody who's watching this will probably not know what this is at first glance because this is one of the things that really only I'm excited about. But it's I'm excited about it because it's such a good version of this thing. Um, this is a Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure. Okay,
Yes, yes.
it is. Hold on, I'll say it while I open it here. Okay, ready? It
Finster.
is.
That is
So I'm
amazing. I
gonna
forgot he was coming out.
yeah I'm gonna have to take a minute to open the box up here. But the reason I'm excited about this one is because the Lightning Collection has had a lot of quality issues lately.
Hmm.
On more than one occasion, I've had to contact their customer support and have them send me a replacement piece because they screwed up what's in the box.
What's in the
Exactly, I
box?
said the name.
You did. Good job.
Um, but this one, the sculpt is just phenomenal. At least from the pictures I saw, the sculpt is phenomenal. So
He looked really good. I thought I was done with Lightning Collection, but he is one I might revisit. That's a good
it's
one.
something just fell out of here, like an amulet. Oh, it's his little monocle thing. So
Hmm.
Finster is from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He's the guy, Rita's guy, bad guy who makes all the monsters. So he's a sculptor. Okay. He's an
He's an
exactly,
artiste.
he's an artist. He comes with some tools here. So he's got his I don't know. what would you call this? The thing that like you scoop it and you
Some sort of a, yeah, the
flatten
putty
it,
scoop.
yeah, and then a rolling pin.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and he's got his little monocle thing, so you can inspect or whatever, and you can actually
Hmm,
see through it.
hmm.
Um, what else we got here? So, oh man, there's a lot of tiny little pieces in here. Hang on. Ah, extra hands.
Nice, nice.
Looks like hands for holding specific tools. Okay.
It's cool. It's very
And
cool.
what's particularly cool is that he has like slots in his apron. Oh, and crap. Do we lose it? Okay. Well, oh no, here we go. Oh no, I did lose it. I lost it. He comes with a little like sculpting like knife or perhaps a paintbrush, and I
Hmm.
just dropped it on the floor, so we're not going to see that. Um, so this I don't think the in Power Rangers his big giant machine had a name. In the Sentai, it was called the Nandora machine.
Hmm.
But what he comes with is I'm trying to put it together here so I don't break it. The suitcase thing that when you open it up, this is the thing where he would put like a lump of clay in it, and it would mold it into
Neat.
the putty patrollers.
That is really
And
neat.
two of these can come out, like the ones that are off color can come out, and then he's got little putties. So that's cool. I don't know why all three of them don't come out, but two of them can.
So when you're a kid and you inevitably lose two of them,
Yeah,
at least it still makes sense.
right. So then yeah, okay, the final thing. Oh my God, the sculpt on this is amazing. It feels so good. Okay, look at this guy. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at the paint. Look
Yeah,
at the
man,
details.
that is a fantastic
His
figure.
his mouth opens so he could do the oh my whatever. He was played by the same guy who played Lord Zed. Yeah.
Really? That makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, I mean, paint. I mean, this is I wouldn't normally point this out, except that this is like a Lightning Collection thing. But they painted the back. Even though it's like kind of flat colors, they still painted the back and everything. But like,
Hmm,
I mean,
hmm.
just look at the. It's kind of a little bit blurry there, but like, you could see that great face sculpt there. I think my
Yeah,
camera's
that is
losing some
fantastic.
frames, but it just looks.
Still, very,
He's
very
got the
cool.
glasses on. I'm gonna see if
Was that exclusive somewhere? Or was
this
it just,
this was the shipping box would imply that this was a um some sort of Hasbro exclusive. I think this was a
but you got it from
yeah, I
Amazon?
got it from Amazon. I'm pretty sure this was this the Pulse? Was this a PulseCon figure? He's not part of a wave.
I
He
don't
was an
know.
individual figure. So I'm gonna try and how are you supposed to? Oh, I guess you got to pop his head off. Yeah, there we go. And then you can put his little thing around his neck, and then put his head back on. I was trying to think of how do you even how are you supposed to get this on his head there? But then you could put the rolling pin in. You can put the spatula thing, whatever you call it, in. Am I putting it in the right spot? No idea. But yeah, so he can fit both of those accessories in his apron there.
Very cool.
So look at those glasses. Those are hanging on his head there. Love it. Very excited. Look at that, like they painted. They put paint inside.
It's really, really well done.
I can't. I mean, this is hands down the best figure in this line. In a line of figures that are primarily just like single color repaints of each other with a different
Hmm.
helmet. You know. Yeah, very happy with this. The villains are always end up looking pretty good.
It's true. The Zed and Rita were amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I got the 2-pack of them,
Mm-hmm.
and so I feel like a Finster is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it on my wish list.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Done.
there's a like a squatting babu at some point, and then I could finish off the
They
set.
again, let me tell you, 100%. They need to do a Balkan Skull. I
Yes,
will be there.
they
I
do.
will buy a Balkan Skull, but it's got to be street clothes. Like I'm not gonna accept them as Power Rangers because that's not cool.
No, I don't.
It's got to be street clothes, Balkan Skull,
Yeah.
and and I would probably buy, what are their names? Squat and Babu.
Yeah, Squat and Babu. That's
I might buy,
that's the
but I
only.
will definitely buy Bulk and Skull 100%.
Yeah, I think Squat, Babu, and Rito
Excuse
Revolto
me.
are the only like Mighty Morphin villains
Yeah, Rito.
that they
Forgot
haven't made
about him.
yet. And if they do, if they give me a Squat and Babu, then I've got the whole. Then they've got the whole first season, first and second season.
Right. So really quite fantastic. I ended up getting all the Mighty Morphin Rangers, no white, just up to green.
Yeah.
Because those were my jam. And like I said, I got Zed and Rita, and Goldar, and I'm feeling like I'm gonna get a Finster. So
Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna look up what was he in terms of exclusive because I pre-ordered him a long time ago and I don't remember what the deal was.
I was gonna say he is just flat out available right now on Amazon,
Yeah, I don't think he
but not
wasn't.
through Prime. He's just free ship, not necessarily a Prime ship.
Yeah, he wasn't rare. Um, and he's I don't think actually I don't think he's an exclusive to anywhere. I think he was just like this is the PulseCon figure or something like that or
Hmm.
I don't know. Every so often there's like a they'll have like the in space Power Rangers in space Silver Ranger is like he's exclusive to here, but actually everyone has him. You
Right.
know. They never announced that figure, it just showed up one day.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
What are your thoughts on
Pretty cool.
do companies need to announce the figures these days? I feel like in a couple of the fandoms that I'm a part of, there's like especially with Hasbro, there's like a sense that like if it's an adult collectible, Hasbro has to announce it first. Like there has to be an event and they have to announce it. If it just shows up, then they're like people act like, does this really exist? Can we count it as part of the line? It's like, yeah, yes. That's they didn't have
I
to
think
specifically tell you ahead of time that it was coming. Like it's here. You bought it. It exists.
I think it's we're in a very interesting place, in history when it comes to this sort of thing. I used to love, as you know, getting my Toy Fair magazine once a
Hmm.
month. That was enough for me, because you had a month's worth of amazing reveals. Sometimes in the advertising, sometimes as articles, you would be like, "Oh my God, they're doing new He-Man toys. It's on the cover of Toy Fair. We gotta buy it. Gotta find out what's going on." But now that everything is so, fast, everything is given to us so quickly and readily. Um, I love when I'm surprised by a toy. It's very rare that you get to be surprised by a toy. There's nothing that fills me with more giddiness. And I'll tell you, it hasn't happened in a long time. I think the last time it happened to me was, you remember well, you do, you bought these guys, the Infinite Heroes,
Oh yeah.
the
I think I
DC set.
I think I had every single one of them.
You did, because I did.
Hmm.
And it was so like I remember distinctly finding Martian Manhunter before ever hearing about it being released. And it was so exciting because it brought you back. When we were kids, we didn't know what the hell we were going to get at the toy store. You walk in the toy store, a new wave of something. Rock Lords came out. What the fuck's a Rock Lord? I have to have a Rock Lord.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, it's a rock. But so it goes like that, where you were so surprised by what random shit was out there. Again, one of my favorite things I had, was a McFarlane Zeus figure. And one of the reasons I loved it, and McFarlane is such a stupid genius for this sort of thing, he he put on the packaging, it said action figure first, two-part posable beard. And he
I
did. He had
remember that.
like two bits
Yeah.
of beard that you could move around. And I mean, it was a really cool looking figure. And it was just a Norse mythological type. Well, Greek because he's Zeus. But he looked more Norse than Greek, um, in his styling. But it was just a really cool looking figure. I'm sure it probably had a link in with Spawn or something, but I didn't care. I didn't read Spawn at the time. I just thought the figure looked awesome, and I was totally sold on having the first action figure ever to have a two-part posable beard. And so yeah, like that kind of thing is awesome. I wish there would be more surprises like that rather than this you know, I announced it and now wait, pre-order it on your favorite website and wait a year and a half
Yeah.
and then maybe you can have it.
This
And it's like
Finster I pre-ordered in August.
oh,
So
yeah,
that's
see.
like 6 months.
Uh well, NECA does that with their turtles now when you can pre-order the different figures or Super 7 is the prime for this at this point. I love Super 7's products. I hate Super 7's prices. They are always way too expensive. And they just do things in a silly manner, I feel, to make you spend more money.
Mhm.
Like with those Animaniacs figures. I wanted those Animaniacs figures really bad. I did not go for them because again, you couldn't just buy one. There was no one figure you could buy and be like, "Oh, I'm happy with Yakko." No, you can't just buy one of the Warner Brothers or Warner Sister,
Mhm.
or Pinky or the Brain. And then the fact is that they made them in a scale that doesn't like they were all like 6 inches tall. Like the Animaniacs should be in 6 inch scale where they're like 3 inches tall,
Right.
you know? And it should have been a pack of all three of the siblings and a pack of Pinky and the Brain with a bunch of accessories. And that I would have spent maybe $100 on the total package. But they wanted $250 for you to get these figures, and they're not out. Like that's the other thing. Like they're not out yet. They're not going to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
And so you have to pay them up front for product you're not going to get for a really long time. And the product just costs way too
I
much.
think that's one of the hardest parts about being a collector these days is that they do these announcements ahead of time. If you don't pre-order right away, you're you're rolling the dice. Like it could sell out
Right.
instantly, and then your only shot is going to be like eBay for even more money. But
Hmm.
other than like whatever they show you when it's announced, whether it's like a person on a stream just like holding up a pre-production figure, or
Hmm.
the really nice looking official photos, like you're not going to see what it looks like in hand. It's like
Right.
you just gotta pre-order it and hope you're at a place where they can let you cancel it later, you know, if you
Well,
want.
honestly, that's and again, they don't sponsor us, but Big Bad Toy Store has always been my go-to, you know, because Big Bad Toy Store will let you cancel anytime
Mhm.
unless until it's in.
For the
You can
vast
cancel.
majority of things, there are
Right.
things that I think they're import things
There,
that
yeah,
they
and
will.
there's a handful of things that they'll say, like, hey, there's like a $25 non-refundable
Yeah,
deposit on
right,
this, stuff like that.
right.
Which I get when you're well, and see, okay, so here's
Still
again,
trying to
this kind
find
of
that
leads
thing I
back
dropped.
into the Super 7 thing. Like Super 7 is still trying to claim that they're a tiny little company, and that's why they got to charge so much money because they're just a little tiny company. They're a little tiny company that's carried in Target across the US at least, and they're signing all the major toy brands.
Hmm.
Like you can't call yourself a tiny company anymore.
Yeah, I mean they might be
You
tiny
know,
in terms of like the number of people working there, but they are
sure,
making a lot of product.
they're making a lot of product and they're making plenty of money on it, and that's the problem is that they're again they're always two steps too far. You know, when everybody else was charging $10 for 3 3/4 inch figures, they were charging 15. When all of a sudden everybody went up to 15, now they're 18. I'll be damned. I'll be damned
Will you now?
if I pay $20 for a 3 3/4 inch figure. It's just it's getting to the principle of the thing almost. I
I
will
found the
forever.
I found the thing that I dropped. It's
Nice.
a chisel.
Nice.
Can you see it?
That's
Is
awesome.
it
Is
blurry?
it in his hand?
Yeah, I put it in a spare hand so I wouldn't drop it.
Nice.
But yeah, that's I think this is the hand that's supposed to be holding it because it's kind of
It looks right.
like he's kind of holding it like that.
Little carving tool maybe.
My
I
camera
like
doesn't
it.
have autofocus, so
So,
It's kind of fixed focus.
um, now I lost my train.
Exactly. I derailed you on purpose.
Anyway, Super 7 should be cheaper.
Yeah, I mean,
That's that's really the bottom line for me.
either that or
They
just
everything they come out with great product. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I will. Oh, hold on.
hmm?
Turn my volume down. Um, what I was gonna say is I will never forget the day that Brian and I waltzed into a Walmart,
Literally doing the waltz
doing the waltz right into a Walmart
together.
to find a fresh giant bin filled with Sentinel series Marvel Legends.
Hmm.
We both scooped
I
out
think that was the second
our,
Build a Figure, or maybe third
I
Build a
think
Figure.
so,
Yeah,
scooped out our 5 to 7 figures. I can't remember how many.
typically seven, I believe.
Um, Although I think it was 5. I want to say it was 5 because here's why. They were like 750, and I want to say the whole purchase was under $40.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and so you bought all of this stuff for $7.50. Bought you a 6-inch action figure, a base, a reprint comic book, and a hunk of a huge fucking build a figure.
Hmm.
And now you spend $27 on a figure that might come with a few accessories
Right.
if you're lucky, or a build a figure part that you probably don't care about, because that's Marvel Legend for me anyway. I was never a hardcore comic book guy. It was all about the cartoons and the trading cards for me. Um, so like the really obscure characters that they're coming up with these days for build a figures, I'm like, I mean, that's a really cool Russian bear guy, but I don't
They're
want to
all
collect all the pieces for
Yeah, they're all
that.
deep cuts because they've run out of the mainstream.
Right.
You know.
Except, well, they've run out of the mainstream, and there are just some that they, for whatever reason, refuse. They'll do the same figure 90 times. We have how many Deadpools, how many Wolverines, but we've got one Toad, one Blob, and they're both terrible, and they'd be the best 2-pack ever.
Hmm.
But no, we're stuck with the fugly ones. Um, but anyway, I very much digress. Um, yeah, Finster's good. I liked him. At least the quality has gotten to a point where if I do have to pay like $30 for a figure, it's okay.
Hmm.
Because
This
I feel like the quality is such that it's like okay, okay.
this is that he's that kind of softer plastic that like a Marvel Legend would be. You know, so it he feels appropriate. Like he's heavy. He's got a lot of there's a lot of material here. You know, he's
Hmm.
heavier than like an SH Figure Arts. You know, which I have.
Those suckers are light as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I've got. Oh, geez, I'm hitting my mic. I've got some here that I haven't opened yet. I guess I could unbox one of those if you want. I've got like two of them sitting over here that came in.
Nice.
But do you want to do what was the thing you were going to talk about? Your Doctor Strangelove?
I have a Doctor Strange figure here. This was a shock to me.
Yeah.
A shock, I say.
Mhm.
And
Is
I
this is
say
this a
that
Marvel Legend?
because
Is
what?
this a Marvel Legend?
It is a Marvel Legend.
Okay.
Um we weren't doing shows when this saga took place, so I'll give you the short version. Um Walmart had a, what do they call it? Like a, some kind of a fake convention, because
Oh
there
yeah,
weren't real conventions.
you're right. The like the
Um
online fan convention thing.
right.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, fans, get here on this day and get in there right away and order your product.
Mhm.
And there was a line that was fantastic. I love this line. It's already over, so I'm sorry. But it married Masters of the Universe with the WWE. Great toy line, very fun. Um, they One of the last waves, in my opinion, was one of the best waves. Was exclusive to Walmart. The whole line was exclusive to Walmart, and this particular wave was part of their con whatever. And so I got up early, I got online. It sold out in 2 minutes. I thankfully secured my pre-order. It had Andre the Giant, it had Bret Hart, Sergeant Slaughter, and Junkyard Dog. And they're amazing, amazing looking figures. I got my pre-order in right away. I was very happy, very excited. There were a ton of people online that were very bummed out. They didn't get their pre-orders in, blah, blah, blah. You know how that saga goes. This is again, just like we were talking, you have to order shit and pay for it, and then it doesn't come out for months and months and months. So it's like, all right, it's the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. But then it came time for them to come out, and they said, oh, nope, sorry, we don't have them. So everybody's order got pushed back. That was about the point where all the boats were still in the harbor. Nobody could get anything in. So it's like, okay, I understand. Nobody's getting anything. It's how it is. But then the sons of bitches started showing up on shelves. Like Walmart received stock and stocked their shelves with them. And people in the community were like, okay, okay. It's not that bad. Sure, we got our pre-orders. Pre-orders are set, right? Why would a company take pre-orders and then not fulfill them if there wasn't like specific stock? Our stock is just coming. That's all. And then they canceled our orders. And they said, sorry, bros, you don't get your toys. Fuck off.
Walmart and Target do that to me all the time.
And then on top of that, they put them back up online. Like the day that everybody got canceled, for about 15 minutes, product went back up online. So they were like, well, we sold a bunch of shit in the store and we don't have enough to fulfill the orders. So we're going to cancel all the orders that we made people order like 6 months ago. And then we're just going to wild west it and say whoever hopefully sees that this listing is up, because they're not going to announce it, gets it.
Mhm.
And so of course they sold out instantly, and I didn't get them. I didn't get them. And then somehow Big Bad Toy Store got them in, and again sold out instantly. I didn't get them. And then finally there was a place called Ringside Collectibles that got them in, and they were charging double what I should have been charged at Walmart, but people on eBay were already charging quadruple. So I got the Sergeant Slaughter and the Andre the Giant that I really, really wanted, and I let the other two go because like I wanted them, but I'm not going to pay $35 for a figure that I don't fucking really, really
Mhm.
want, especially one that I already paid once for, and ooh, it still makes me mad. Anyway, brings me to my other point is that Walmart had another convention exclusive, and it was a Doctor Strange comic book style Marvel Legend figure.
And I think the original
Um,
Doctor Strange Marvel Legend was fairly early on, if I recall.
it was he had the like comically spindly body
Mhm.
and the very huge rubbery cape.
Yeah.
I still have him somewhere, and I gotta throw him in my giveaway bin because they're people don't pay money for or those old ones, not at all. Especially not when something like this is available, which is what I'm getting to here. So, this figure is about as good as you could hope for. Like until they figure out a way to make like seamless body, no, you can't see the joints, but they move kind of toys. This is as good as you're gonna get. You know, Here he is,
Ooh, look at
Doctor
that with
Strange.
the leopard gloves.
He is, yes, that's one of my favorite parts. I'm gonna try to get in close on his face.
Nope.
I don't know if that's
Put
gonna
kind of put them in front of your face with your hand there. Yeah, that'll help the autofocus. There you go.
right. Here he is. I don't know if you guys can tell from that, but he actually bears a striking resemblance to Sean Connery.
Yes.
He looks very good, Junior. Um, and so he does have the cool Kirby Crackle leopard gloves. He's got uh the metal
Yes.
seancey
Hmm.
hands. He does come with other hands that are less sandsy. One is a straight up fist, and the other is just kind of a kung fu grip. Um, I'm sure that these things mean things to the comic book world, but I don't know them. He came with this really neat axe,
Hmm.
the axe of Agamotto,
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll take your word for it.
and this
Ah,
scepter of Circe.
okay.
Yep, that's for sure its name.
Is it?
And then he's got some. Nope, not all. Um, these I love these. These are just some cool magic effects.
I do like that
And then he
Hasbro has
came.
been throwing in a lot more special effects lately.
The effects really make it.
I don't
They
remember
really
what
do.
thing this came with, but I have a gigantic bloosh effect
Nice.
sitting here, and that
That's
you can
awesome.
take it apart and like, make different bloosh effects out of it. And I think it's actually supposed to be like the back of a jet, but it could also be like, like a gun shooting a
Right.
thing or whatever.
That's awesome. Came with this guy. I'm sure this is like a
It's Dr.
another
Manhattan.
pretty much. I'm sure he's like a future sorcerer supreme.
Mm.
But when you put him on, he still has a fleshy neck. So I was like, that
I
doesn't
mean,
really
don't we
work as
all?
far as I'm concerned. This honestly, this accessory, which I'm applying to the figure now, is one of the reasons I was like, okay, I have to buy this because they never give you stuff like this. Um, and I'm gonna try to get him in some kind of the pose I originally wanted didn't work, but this one is pretty okay. Okay, here we go. And come on,
Hmm. Hmm.
get in on the
I'm
face.
doing it for you so that the people can see us too. Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's the
Hmm.
look at that face.
Hmm.
He's got his eyes closed and he's
Hmm.
meditating.
Yeah, I closed my eyes too.
It's so good. You never get that in figure form. Like there's very few reasons that you would want a figure that has its eyes closed,
Hmm.
but Doctor Strange is definitely one. And then also it makes for a really good um, metal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm letting the metal flow through me.
Yes, indubitably. So yeah, I mean, this is a quality figure. I don't know if it's still available. It is Walmart exclusive. Um, but again, both the heads, even the eyes closed one, you can see like the cheekbones and stuff are really very Sean Connery. Um, it's very, very interesting. And they are using the like the computer paint tech to get the eyes really well now.
Oh, that's good.
You know, they have very good paint apps these days. So, all in all, shockingly, well, it did arrive in a bag. I, I I'm thankfully a loose collector, but I love that Walmart is like, yeah, Collector Con, yeah, we love collectors here. By the way, here's your collectible in a brown paper bag. Hope it gets to you, bro.
Man, I at least got a box for mine. I looked it up. This
Yeah,
was Amazon
yeah.
exclusive, but they also have it on Hasbro Pulse, and Big Bad usually gets a bunch too whenever there's another exclusive.
So, I mean, you know, Hasbro obviously knows what they're doing. They're pretty much at the top of their game. I don't think that I think the only people that come close is Mattel, and they're only close. They don't have comparable product.
Hmm.
They try, which I respect their trying, but
Yeah,
um, overall, Hasbro anytime there's a new license that they get, I get excited because I hope they're going to be given the treatment that Marvel Legends or even GI Joe or Transformers is given.
yeah. You
Ghostbusters.
don't really want the Power
Um,
Rangers treatment. The Power Rangers team has been kind of screwing up a lot of the figures. I think that's why they moved the John Warden from the Transformers team over to Power Rangers because
mm,
there have been far too many quality issues and Um, yeah, there's weird, hilarious screw ups that have been happening over there. Just minor ones. There's a figure. Do I have it? Hold on, I'm gonna grab something real quick. Don't move.
Okay. Do you think he meant me?
Okay, so
Okay.
excuse me. This guy right here. This is I don't remember his name.
That's a cool
He's
looker.
he's the little robot that originally came with Scorponok in the
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
80s, and this is like the new version of him. But Scorponok was retooled into Black Zarek, and his little dude was retooled into Black Rorichi. And what you'll notice from these two, the difference in sculpt. Now you can't really see it because I'm trying to get them both on the camera at the same time. If you look at his head,
Hmm.
if you look at his head, note he's got two little pipes on the side of his head.
True.
This guy does not.
Oh, true.
You know why?
No, why?
Because Hasbro went on to TF Wiki and they looked at the screenshot, the one screenshot of this guy, and they were like, "Oh, he doesn't have pipes." So they remolded the head to get rid of the pipes. But what they couldn't see was that his pipes are black and he was in front of a black background in the screenshot.
Oh no.
And so they did all the remolding because all they didn't bother to go and look at any other like because this is from a Japanese series. They didn't bother to go and like get the video and go look at the guy. They just went to the wiki, and the Power Ranger team has been caught doing that too. They go to the wiki, they find like one screenshot, and they clearly based everything off of one screenshot.
I mean, to be fair, that's what happens when you don't have like a fan
Yeah,
in the
and
room.
it's
You really have to have some kind of a fan there.
Power Rangers in specific. They bought the brand from Bandai like 4 years ago, and
Hmm.
or actually I think 5 years ago at this point, and it was just like, they spun up a team. I think they brought over like two people or a few people from the Bandai team that they then let go about a year later. But it was like, hey, you guys, go research Power Rangers, figure out what we got to make here. You know,
And again, to be fair, Power Rangers is
yeah,
vast. That's the thing. Like Power Ranger, I feel like Power Rangers is vast, and I only ever gave a shit about Mighty Morphin.
hmm
Anything beyond that is might as well be regular Sentai to me. You know, um, you get in things like Marvel, where Marvel is obviously vast, but um, it's got very specific hits. You've got a brand new team every couple of years. You've got brand new powers, brand new monsters, brand new, so you
accessories.
could go on forever.
Yeah,
You know, they were smart enough to not be like, here's all the Mighty Morphin in one scoop, guys. Because again, it made me stick around and keep looking at stuff. And, you know, I was not swayed really. I only bought the things I intended to buy in the beginning, but maybe the bad guys I wasn't gonna, but then I did. But like I'm never gonna be like, oh man, a Dino Force guy. Oh, I gotta get him.
Di-
That's just never gonna happen.
Power Rangers
But
Dino Force is a South Korean show, by the way. That's not an American show,
okay,
in case you were wondering.
I wasn't. But good to know anyway. Um,
That's the
in any
that's the
case, they
Power Rangers Dino Force is the South Korean dub of Juden Sentai Kyoryuger.
now he's just talking in Japanese. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But in any case, uh, they're smart to drag things out to a point. Like they're doing with the Marvel Legends shit. Um, when you hold out on us for so long, though, sooner or later people are going to lose interest. You gotta kick in. And so, um, I mean, there's still a handful of characters that we've never got. I just finally got um, Shadowcat in her proper 80s, 90s esque puffy sleeved outfit.
Mhm.
We've gotten three, I believe, three Kitty Prides, maybe two. I can't remember, two or three Kitty Prides prior to this, and they were both that black and yellow
That
costume that's very much the modern
yeah. And
take.
that first one from Hasbro when it was like in like wave
Oh
1 or
yeah, when
2
it
from
was,
Hasbro, that
yeah,
was a
it's
bad figure.
so bad, so bad. I have so many of those figures because it was just like, oh man, I need a Kitty Pride. I don't care how terrible it looks. I have to have Kitty Pride. And then they put out just another version of that same figure, and I was like, oh well, this is much better. I'll get this one. And then they put out the one I really wanted, and it was in a 3-pack, so I had to buy a stupid 3-pack with characters I don't want.
That's that's my hope for the Lightning collection is that like I think back to how bad Marvel Legends was when Hasbro first took it over and how good
Hmm.
it is now. And I think like yeah, they'll get there. Like they've already
I mean,
they started out better than Marvel Legends did. Yeah.
right. I was going to say, at the very least, their figures are very nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one complaint I still have to this day is why they gave the girls the boy boots.
I don't know. They only did that with the Mighty
It's
Morphin.
so it's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
It's so bad. Are there? Can I like buy? Are there other characters that have boots that would fill my collection that I can just like pop off and put the boots
I mean,
on my yellow and pink ranger?
no, not
Of course
not
not.
that are gonna look like them. I mean, they'll
Right.
have boots.
They all got boots.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't even think they've released multiple versions of the Mighty Morphin figures because they were
Right.
different characters, like different humans,
Hmm.
and I don't think they ever corrected the boot thing. I'd have to go and look, but
It's
yeah.
terrible. Just that is a terrible oversight because they really look awful.
Yeah, and I don't think they did
There's
that for any other season. Like I
probably
think
not.
I think that's only
It probably comes down to
I'm
that
gonna scoot up here
idea
real
that
quick.
like, hey, these guys will buy anything from Mighty Morphin. And so why would we bother worrying about it? People are going to buy them anyway. They're not going to look at it and be like, "Oh no, I can't do that." But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just looking at an in space and a Zeo figure, and the girls have like normal sized boots.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, what we're talking about is like they took the like the bottom of the leg, the boot part. Like the male figures have a wider leg, and they just put the male boot part on the girl body, and so like it looks like like 50s superheroes where they have like the big cuff. Like it's like
Right.
like the boot just sticks out really far, and it's not like a flat, like a
It's
boot.
not like a flat.
Yeah, it's not like a flat like a boot. Um, Before that, I grabbed this thing that I was going to open real quick. I actually did open this and then put it back in the box until I was ready to display it because I've got down back there, I've got a Common Rider shelf going for Common Rider Saber that I'm still
Nice.
working on. But this is, I had mentioned earlier SH Figure Arts. This is an example of an SH Figure Arts figure. This is Caliber
Mm,
Jahu Dragon form, and he looks very cool and everything.
totes.
And this is what he looks like out of the box. So you can see kind of the level of detail we're dealing with here. So it's like he's painted head to toe, very intricate detail. I mean, look at it's not going to focus very well, but that the driver on his belt is fully painted. I'm not sure if this is going to show up, but he's got a little bit of a pattern molded in on the back of the spikes here. There's like a grid
Mm,
pattern molded in. I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera or not, but like this whole cape is like shiny and everything, and he can
yeah, that comes
it's
through
like
well. The grid does not.
the cape itself is posable. Like it's
Hmm.
yeah.
Is that a action figure first 3-part posable cape?
No, no, it's not. I got it. If that the Starscream over there on the shelf. He's kind of off camera. Never mind. There's a Starscream with a cape over there, and it's like a 3-part cape.
Nice.
No, it's a 3-part cape, but it only goes out to one side so that he can go like this, and you can have like the cape flow out with one arm. It doesn't work to
Hmm.
the other side. It only works to one side, which I think is hysterical.
That's awesome.
No, no, can you see? Whoops. Can you see like the pattern?
Do the hand thing. Do the
My
hand thing.
my camera doesn't autofocus, but
Oh,
can you?
don't do the hand thing then.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's like a grid pattern like molded underneath the visor. Like
Nah,
it's a
you can't
two
really see
layer.
that,
Yeah,
but it's very cool looking.
yeah. I like Dragon Riders. So anyway, um,
So,
yeah.
anyways,
So anyway, we're coming to the end of the show here. Do you have
mhm,
this driver moves, and I forget what it's supposed to do, but it definitely moves, and I think I can take things out of it. Maybe I'm not going to try and do stuff with it. Do you have anything else you want to go over, Pat, before we call it a day
before
here?
we call it a day,
I am
do
gonna.
you wanna have a quick rant, or do you wanna save a rant for next week?
Um, you could do a quick rant. I was just thinking through if there were any other technical difficulties I wanted to kind of test out. It looks like my camera has been stalling every so often, getting a little. I don't know if yeah, it jumps every
Not
so often. I don't
terrible.
know why. I think because
So,
my computer here is got there's so much bandwidth going in and out of every port on this thing. This is my MacBook Pro running this with the
mm,
M1 Max in it, and it's like it's got a uh like a it's got a 1440 monitor attached to it, but then it's also got all the stream in and out and your Skype coming in and my video and the camera. It's like all sorts of and the running the video.
stuff is happening. Stuff
And
is happening.
and yet it says 37% CPU usage and the RAM is I don't know, it's like half full.
It's like Ramalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, I don't know. I've only dropped 0.1% of the frames of the actual stream, but that's probably just because it drops my own camera first. But it
Right.
doesn't drop your camera.
I'll be honest with you though, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Nothing that isn't on par with other streaming that I've seen.
Okay. Well, good.
Um,
You heard it here first, folks.
that's right. That's
On
right.
par.
Two-part posable beard.
Hmm. So, Pat, what's your quick rant?
Quick rant. Does Batman need to be darker or grittier? No.
Does the world need a Superman? Oh, sorry.
No. I'll be honest with you. That's an interesting point. I hear so much bitching and whining about how Superman is a dull character that nobody knows what to do with, and he's overpowered and blah blah blah. And yet we're being bombarded this week. Now I haven't seen it,
Mhm.
so I'm reserving judgment on the movie. I'm not saying that the movie is going to be bad or anything, but all of the media leading up to the movie has led me to believe that this is just going to be another gritty, darker tale of the Batman
It's a bit of a
and how he's going to take crime and beat it to a bloody pulp.
it's a bit of a horror movie, is what I've heard. I've,
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like.
what I've heard
So,
is that it's cinematographically, it is a very good movie. Is like everybody who's into movies in general thinks it's a very good movie. Now, I don't think they're evaluating it as a how good is it as a Batman movie. That's
sure.
kind of up to personal taste. But I agree with you.
I also
I'm tired
I
of
also
dark
want
and
to point
gritty.
out that right. I also want to point out that for a week or two, there were a lot of people arguing that Green Lantern was a good movie. I was one of them.
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Beauty's in the eye of the
Mhm.
beholder. I think people really want to like this movie, and I hope people do like this movie. I don't want to take that. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take this away from anybody. If you enjoyed this movie and this take on Batman, that's awesome. All I'm saying is I am so ready for like a not quite Adam West or George Clooney level ridiculous Batman, but give me the detective. You know
That,
what I mean? Like
that's what
give me
that's what
a
everyone
good
says this movie is this is him
well
being the
maybe
detective.
maybe that's going to shock me. I am excited to let this movie rock my socks
Yeah.
off. Let me say that. But from all the media, all the trailers that I've watched, first of all, I loathe the way Riddler looks. I hate it. I don't understand it. There's never, to my knowledge, been a version of the Riddler that looks like this. I don't understand why they chose to go that route.
Mhm.
I get the penguin because again, it's the darker, grittier, realer version of a penguin.
I don't know why you talk like a
Um,
pirate whenever you.
I don't know because it fills me with rage, me boyo. Um, but um, and Catwoman looked
That
fine,
one's fine.
But again, like these are rehashes. We've Batman's rogue gallery is so vast, and characters have been done so well. You know, we've gotten a movie with Penguin and Catwoman already, and it is pretty beloved.
Hmm.
We didn't need another Penguin Catwoman movie.
Hmm.
Having them as part of the world is fine. It's great. But I mean, again, we this is a waste of a movie to me because this is all rehash. Riddler again. I'll say it right now. I probably would take Jim Carrey's Riddler over this guy,
Yeah, and he was just
just because
basically being the
he
Joker.
just right. I just do not, and I'm an aesthetic guy. I need the aesthetics to be decent, and I did not like. There was not a single moment in any of the designs of anything where I was like, "Oh, well, that's really neat."
I
You know, I've had a lot of people be like, "Oh, but the car." It's like, yeah, it looks like a car. It doesn't look like a Batmobile. It looks like a car.
I do like the I do like his bat suit. Like for some reason I like the collar part of it that sticks up.
It's
I like
okay.
that.
It's
I
okay.
I still
There's
don't like the design of the bat, although I heard that it's not actually the gun that killed his parents. That was like
well, that's
either
fine
they
too.
cut that out or retconned it and that's not in the movie, or I don't remember. Like
Like we were talking
that was the
about
thing
when
that I
this
didn't like originally when they were first
yeah,
talking about
for
this. I was
sure.
like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I want to say that was in a comic. I think Kevin Smith wrote that into the comics, but in the comic, he just used the Joe Chill's gun and melted it
Mhm.
down and made the symbol out of it. It's like, okay, I can get behind that. But this looked like actual bits of
Yeah, like he
gun
sawed it in
like
half
were
and
in
put
there.
it in a bat shape.
And you know, regardless of what it's made of, I don't like the way it looks. I mean, again, like I felt like as a society, we were progressing towards like the perfect Batman costume. You know, we started back in the 60s with a real campy, kind of skinny guy, not super in shape. Like that's not really Batman.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Adam West was not the peak of human physical condition that we've come to know Batman as. Then we got Michael Keaton, cool ass cowl. The cowl is perfect at that point. You're done.
Mhm.
The rest of the suit, as much as I enjoy it for what it is, not very functional. Not, the all black. eh,
Yeah.
not
I
I would not my thing.
part of the problem with modern Batman, and I say modern Batman is in like the last 30 years, is that the Keaton movie made everyone think that Batman's live action suit has to be all black. And I
Right.
don't like that. Like I don't like the Zack Snyder movies, but they nailed the costume.
They did. They did. The only thing, and again, I'm pretty sure, right? They took away the underpants.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that because that ruined everything.
Hmm.
Once they did that with Man of Steel, they took it away in the comic books too.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, no, the superheroes don't wear their underpants on the
Yeah.
outside."
New 52.
And yeah, fuck that. But they like literally now they're just wearing a onesie, and it's way weirder. It is way weirder to look at the superheroes because now you expect to see
Yeah, you're like,
the
what? Why
underpants
aren't they
there,
wearing
and you're
underwear?
like, you're not wearing pants. I don't like this. That broke up your top to bottom ratio. Now there's nothing. You're just whoop, I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, it's we got to Affleck as Batman, and no, he was not a perfect Batman. He wasn't even a great Batman, but his costume, you got it right on.
He was probably
Uh,
like in the Batman v Superman movie. He was probably the thing that I disliked the least about the movie.
Possibly, possibly. I mean, I still hated like the
I mean,
what's that? I've got guns.
his
You know,
yeah. I mean,
you know,
he wasn't a great
there were
Batman.
plenty of things that were very un-Batman like that he did, but he looked like Batman. And I remember when Batman Begins came out, you and I were watching it, and then when we were done with it, we were like, "Oh, that was so cool." And then he was talking to Lucius about updating the suit, and we were like, "Oh man, what if because he's a ninja. We got the ninja aspect in this movie.
Mm.
There's never a movie that gives us all the
That's
aspects."
that's right. Yeah.
Um, so he's a ninja and a billionaire playboy. He can't be a detective. That was the whole of what's his name, Chris Nolan's movies. Because he was a bad
I don't know,
detective,
Pet. He can shoot bullets
really
into a
fucking
bunch of
bad.
bricks.
He was a
That's what
terrible
detectives
detective.
do, right?
Right, exactly. He's a terrible detective. Anyway, um, I can't. I have to move past all of my gripes with the Nolan verse. Um, anyway, so we get to Batman v Superman. Batman looks amazing. Justice League, he looks the same. And I guess minor kudos to them for not changing their outfits arbitrarily for that movie, because I'll tell you that is something that always bugs me in the Marvel movies, where it's like, damn, they got it, they nailed it. Why did you change it in the sequel? Oh, you got to sell
Got to
more
sell more
toys. You got to
toys.
sell more. Ah, damn it.
Hmm.
Thor is at that point for me right now. I'm not a huge fan of where we're at in the new Thor movie. Like, it's okay, and it actually, like, when you really look at it, like, next to the comic book, it's trying to get more comic booky, but they did such a good job where they made an iconic version of him, and now they're making it less iconic
Hmm.
by forcing it in this other
I
direction.
think
But that again,
they have to do. I think they're potentially going that route because um, Jane Foster is. It looks more
right,
traditional Thor in the movie, and they want to
right,
distinguish it.
for sure. I get that. I get it. It's just one of those things. I don't love when they do that. But anyway, back to this Batman movie. I'm just there's no excitement for me.
Yeah.
There's
No,
there's nothing, because they have shown me nothing new.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it too. I'm sure it's actually a nice movie. I'm sure it's fine. Like it seems like it's very well put together, like from a director, in a like a
Mhm.
movie production point of view. And I'm sure the plot is fine and everything. But yeah, it's like I'm the same place with that as I am with like Star Wars movies for the most part, where it's just like I'm not seeing anything I haven't really seen before in other media. It's like
Right.
did we need another Batman movie right now that isn't doing something new? I don't know.
Right. That's the other thing, is that there is a Batman movie coming up that I'm very excited for, and it's called The Flash.
Yeah.
And that as far as I'm concerned, that deserves all the hype in the world. And this coming from a company that was like, no, you absolutely cannot have Batman on Smallville because you're going to confuse people, because we have Batman in
Right.
movies,
And then they made
to
a
having,
non-canon Joker movie and then a non-canon Batman movie.
right, we're going to have no less than three Batmen, because Ben Affleck is still in this Flash movie as well.
Hmm.
There are going to be three Batmen running at the same time, and allegedly they're finally going to let the CW have a Batman, I hear. So I don't know. I don't know. I hate everything about AT&T, or whoever the head, whoever's the head of that conglomerate. I think it's AT&T,
I
right?
don't know.
I hate that they bought Warner, and that Warner bought DC, because DC has always been my heart. That was that was where I went when I was a kid. I would go to DC Comics because they were fun. I went to Marvel Cards because they were awesome, but DC Comics. I wanted to read about superheroes that were doing, grandiose, silly things, rather than hearing about real problems that were what was going on in Marvel. And again, as you grow, of course, you find the real problems to be more interesting. But I always came back to just punching a space dinosaur, or something that is just so out there that it sparks the imagination, rather than being like, oh, I guess I really do think like a Spider-Man, because I totally would get my grandma medicine and instead of fighting Doc Ock. but, but you know what I mean, like, there's there's just so much love for the properties from me that has nowhere to go now, because they're just going to keep turning out this garbage until they get a hit, and then they're going to just mine that until it's garbage. And
I think the
uh,
what it comes down to is like everybody wants, for some reason, their superhero movies to be grounded in reality. And since reality doesn't have superheroes, you always have to decide which parts of the movie are going to be the ungrounded part, you know.
right,
And every movie, for at least every like series of movies, picks a different thing that this is the ungrounded thing. Like this Batman movie, they're like the Riddler obviously wouldn't dress up like a silly person because he's a serial killer or whatever,
Right.
and so he wears I don't know whatever the thing and stuff. But
I gimp mask
yeah,
or some shit.
but
Like that's the thing that I don't buy though. You know what I mean? Like I would totally buy him as a well-dressed man.
that was the point that I was getting at is that everybody has like a different threshold of like some
Mhm.
people are going to see that and be like, yes, that's what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted was for him to not be wearing like
I
the
would
third
like to
doctor
meet the
costume.
person I would like to meet the person who's like this. Actually, I don't think I would like to meet the person who's like this is it.
I've seen him on the
This is
internet.
how I've always imagined the Riddler
Yeah.
late at night when I imagine the Riddler. This is how I imagine him. Yeah, I don't actually think I'd like to come face to face with that person. Because it's just weird. It's weird and it doesn't fit the character. Like I said, I get because it's supposed to be modern and whatever, the penguin's not going to wear a top hat or a tuxedo. He's just going to be a mob boss in a suit.
Mm.
Um it really does take away like all of his marks. Like I would never have known that that was the penguin if somebody wasn't like, "Oh yeah, that's supposed to be the penguin." It's like, why is what's his name in a fat suit? That doesn't make any sense.
And
Oh,
that's
because he's the
yeah,
penguin,
and
of course.
that's within my threshold of like we've modernized him. He's wearing what a present day penguin guy would be wearing, like that's within my threshold. Like I can accept that for this movie, but like
It's within my threshold, but I still don't think. I think you've taken away everything. You've taken away too much.
yeah.
There's like the notion in art. How much can I get away with? What's the minimum I can do to get you to recognize something? You know, and that's your minimalist art, which I hate. Um, but there's a theme here. But you know I feel like they did go too far. It's all of these characters. Well, no, not all of them. Obviously, Batman is recognizable. Catwoman is recognizable. Although I, I feel like if you're just gonna put her in one of those goofy cat ski masks, like why not just make it a thing and make it look better? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but whatever,
Mm.
whatever. Again, you gotta find your threshold. Um, but again, like I feel like if it's a character that's supposed to be like the penguin was supposed to be super fancy. Nobody was wearing top hats, tails, and a monocle all the time. That wasn't like in fashion back then.
Mm. Right. He
So
was always eccentric.
exactly. And so I feel like you could have pushed the mob boss eccentricities to at the very least a hat of some sort. You
I
know, a certain type of suit that maybe lent itself a little bit more to a tuxedo than just a bad suit.
the the thing
You know, the
the thing that whenever I hear people talk about grounded in reality, and I keep going back to grounded in reality is, and I think sometimes people they accept the wrong things as reality. Like
hmm hmm hmm
if Batman was real, he'd probably be doxxed and arrested within like a couple of weeks because the internet
Sure.
exists and people will see him and they will put two and two together at some point. And like I saw a lot of people saying like Catwoman's mask thing that's like the homemade ski mask looking thing, and they're like that's really realistic because in real life that's what someone would do is they would just they would homemade make a mask, and I'm like, have you people seen what cosplayers do with like almost no money? Like
Right. Right.
it's entirely feasible that someone in real life, in reality, would make a fancy looking costume to hide their own identity, you know.
hmm
But whatever, it's fine. I'm going to end the rant here now.
Rant ended. I think that we should, if either of us end up seeing this
Yeah,
movie, we should
I would
revisit this.
I would like to go see it. It's all just a matter of scheduling, you know. I have a feeling it's
Let,
going to be,
let me know.
yeah, it'd be one of those movies like when I went and saw Justice League, and I was like, oh, well, that was fine. It
Right.
wasn't
And
wasn't great,
again,
but
I feel like that's the trouble is that these movies used to be made for us, and this is kind of what we were talking about early on. These movies used to be made for nerds and for geeks and us, um, and now they're being made for everyone,
Hmm.
which is not a bad thing. But again, you've pushed this one too far for me.
Hmm.
You've pushed this beyond the fun comic books
Yeah.
stuff.
And it seems like it's a hit for everyone, which I take that to be that the movie is a success. So maybe I'll
Sure.
enjoy it, maybe I won't. The thing that comforts me is that there will be 500 more comic book movies coming,
Right.
and I will
Right.
probably
This
like most of them. So
this will far and away not be the last Batman movie
yeah.
we get.
So
So,
not concerned for like the future of humanity here or anything. Maybe the movie will be great. Maybe I won't like it. It seems like it's great
right.
from the vast majority of reviews that I've seen. So yeah,
We shall see.
we shall see. All right. Um, I don't remember how I used to end these podcasts, but
We used to tell people where they could find us.
yeah, jibcast.com. We don't really put anything up there anymore because that's just where the recordings would go. But now they're just going to be on YouTube. The all of the different addresses have been cycling through on the bottom of the screen this whole time, so you can figure out.
You should know them by now.
Yeah,
They should be ingrained in your brain now.
yeah. I'm underscore bsokol on Twitter, Pat's Green Lantern 999, and all the other. I think our personal ones are not scrolling down there. We do have a Discord that comes up every so often. I think it just came up a few minutes ago. We don't have a custom link because we're not big enough to have like a fancy link, so we got the random
Hmm.
generated link. But if you want to join our Discord, we occasionally talk about nerd stuff on there. So please,
The more you talk, the more we'll answer.
yeah, exactly. So thank you to everyone who watched and everyone who's watching this on demand later. And we're gonna try and do this weekly if we can. And
It's the idea.
yeah, so that's it. We're gonna sign off here. Thanks for watching. I have a screen for this. I have an exit screen. Ready? Here it
Good.
comes.